Yeah. Hey.
Pittsburgh Steelers fans, welcome back to the Blitzburg Squad. I'm Wesley Seeley. Thanks for joining me as I recap the Steelers versus the Browns. Man, what a game, what a game. Jeez, Steelers really took care of business. 38-7 was the final score. Really, the Browns were never in it. Right from the beginning, Steelers took actually elected to receive the kickoff. They took their opening drive, and kind of scared me. Actually, I got a little bit nervous on that opening drive. They, I believe it was an RPO Ben had tried and had done a quick slant over to, I think it was James Washington, and someone jumped the route. I was nearly intercepted, but that was a little bit of a scare there for that opening drive, but ended up, actually making a nice play later on that drive. A nice long throw to James Washington on the sidelines for about 27 yards. Got that drive kind of in a rhythm. They were able to go down and score 3. Unfortunately, kind of stalled out at the end there, but still looked okay. Got some points on the board. And then when the Browns got their opening possession, man, what a start. Third down play. Minka drops down, undercuts a slant, intercepts it, gets a pick 6. That really set the tone for the whole game, set the tone for the defense for sure, but man, just swung the momentum completely in our favor. Probably took the wind out of the Browns' sails, really. But and for all the haters out there for Minka saying, where's all the big plays? Well, there's one. I mean, I knew they were going to come. It just had to take a little bit. So I was glad he made a splash play for us, made a big play, really set the tone, got the momentum swing going. That was a great start to the game, going up 10-0 really. And really for the whole game, I was just really impressed overall with the team, and then especially with the defense, though. The defense was excellent. They really harassed Baker the whole game, really made him uncomfortable. I feel like every time he would step up in the pocket, he just looked kind of jittery and bouncing around too much, really never got set to make some good throws and good decisions. But they really even shut down Kareem Hunt. He couldn't really do anything the whole game. I want to say he had about 40 yards rushing. Total team had 75. Really shut them down. I mean, in every way they would try, inside zones, outside zones. It didn't matter what they were running or trying to fool us with. We really had their number. We really came into the game, I'm sure, trying to shut down the run first and foremost. Really did that. And then when Baker tried to throw it, we just harassed him the whole game. So he really had no options. Really just looked great on all facets of the defense. Defensive line, linebackers, secondary, though, for sure, was probably my biggest surprise of the game. They looked stout on Jarvis and Odell. Looked like they were, Nelson was running with Odell, no problem it seemed like. Jarvis Landry really didn't have anything during the game. So I was impressed there. They really didn't have any splash plays. Other than their play, I think it was at the end of the first half, they were able to drive down the field and get that touchdown to Higgins, I think. And he was wide open. So some kind of breakdown in the defense, breakdown of communication. But other than that, I'll give them one pass there. It was already a big lead in before the half there. And it was just a nice, really a great showing by the whole team. Offensively, really, getting the 3 points on the opening drive wasn't ideal, but at least it was something to get us started. After that, it really just seemed like we were clicking. James Conner, kudos to you, man. You ran super hard. He looks super agile. I feel like every time he plays the Browns, he just has a great game. It doesn't matter how he looks in the season. Whenever he plays the Browns, he brings it those games. And, man, he always has a good game against them. He looked super agile, looked to be quick and speedy, had all the moves, ran with power. Really just looked like a complete back in this game. I was super impressed with how he ran the ball. And then Ben really didn't show off too much. Honestly, I think he had under 175 yards throwing. But when he did, he was efficient. He made pretty smart reads other than that first initial drive. I know he almost threw a pick. Made pretty smart throws, pretty good reads. I was impressed with his decision-making there. Just he really doesn't have to do too much, really. If the defense is going to play like that, just manage the game, manage the offense, and just make the necessary throws. You don't always have to make splash plays all the time. So he really did great. I will say, though, his deep ball looked great today, and I don't really know what changed. I know when Shane and I had talked about the deep balls not really connecting, and he was just overthrowing a little bit of them. Man, I don't know if he's finally just starting to understand his arm strength now that he's gotten the surgery on it or what, but man, he dialed it in. The throw to James Washington early in that first opening possession on that opening drive for us, like about 27 yards, but that was right on the money. That was a great throw. His pump fake touchdown throw was a thing of beauty. Great pump fake, and then it was right on the money to James. I know he was wide open, but I don't even think he had to slow down at all for the ball. It was just right in his lap. And then the deep throw later on in the game to Claypool on the sidelines was a thing of beauty. I mean, the defender really didn't have poor or that bad of coverage, really. The ball was just placed in a perfect position. Really nothing you can do as a defender in that point. But, yeah, it's good. It was good to see that because I know we had, like Shannon and I had talked about, we were really looking forward to seeing that deep ball connect on more of those attempts. Because, yeah, he had tried the deep ball. We just weren't connecting on that many attempts. So it was good to have him connect on some of those, really looking sharp out there. For the whole rest of the offense, really, Snell came in, carried the ball, got a touchdown. He looked okay. For the most part, I want to say they ran and rode Connor for the whole game, but he looked fine, so I didn't blame him there. So Claypool had another monster game. This guy is literally a star in the making. After his big game last week against the Eagles, he comes in this week. I think he caught 4 for 74 yards, had an end around, had another end around touchdown. Actually almost had another touchdown on a quick slant or a screen pass. Literally had nothing there. Just outran the defender, made a quick inside move, bounced it back out, and then just used his speed and almost got it. He actually got it all the way down to the 1. But, man, it was a great showing by him again. He's really just showing you – I think he's just showing us Steelers fans in the whole league right now that, man, he is a talent that should have been taken in the first round. He is a talent that is just getting started. He's really just showing off at this point. I feel like he's doing a great job. I think he's getting comfortable. And the more he gets chemistry with Ben, man, watch out, man. That's going to be a dangerous combo. I mean, I think it already is. They're doing a really good job with each other. But, man, when they get more comfortable with each other, it's going to be a scary thing. I don't think Juju had too much. I mean, I think he had a couple receptions in the game. Really only had about, I think, 6 yards, 2 receptions, 6 yards. So really didn't do too much. But, he's always just nice to have as a blocking wide receiver. So even though those plays we might not see for, catches or splash plays out of him, we probably saw celebrations. But, running plays, too, that we don't really see and they don't really show. But he is a great run blocker as a wide receiver. So reminds me a lot of a Hines Ward type, really, honestly. It's good to just have him out on the field at all times, just for even that, if he's not getting the catches. James Washington, like I said, he had a really critical catch our opening drive, and then the touchdown catch, so he looked solid. Ebron, I think, had a couple catches. One kind of got called back on an iffy personal or pass interference call. Arm extended, really probably didn't do too much, maybe did a little bit, whatever. I don't think he did too much after that, though. He was kind of held in check, I think, for the most part. But he looked okay. The whole offense really, after that first drive, they really got things clicking. I was really impressed with how they were able to finish drives, convert on third downs, and just kind of get in the rhythm, keep it clicking, because defense was doing their part the whole entire game. So as long as the offense was just going to keep it rolling, play safe football, not turn it over, keep the ball on the ground, really, run the ball with Connor because he was doing a great job. Just play, fundamental football. And I think they did that. I think they did a great job. Really, as an overall grade for the offense, I'd probably give them an A. I mean, they did what I wanted them to. I mean, they got 38 points, so you can't fault. Well, I guess they got less than 38 because of Minka's pick 6. So I guess I can't completely credit them for the 38 points, but they did a good job. Overall, I would say give them an A. They ran the ball well. They passed it well. And I don't believe we had a turnover. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, call me out on it. But I don't believe they had a turnover. Now to the defense side of the ball, man, I guess first and foremost, I will say I was super bummed, and I'm sure all Steelers fans are super bummed to see Devin Bush go down. I got the news or the update tonight that he's out for the year with a torn ACL. So that's a huge blow to the defense. I think that's a huge bummer for him, too, coming into his second year. I was really hoping to see more. I mean, I know he had a great rookie performance, but great rookie year, but it was going to be a sweet, sophomore year basically for him to see kind of how he was going to be able to progress to that next step and be the leader on the defense. And it's a bummer for him, a bummer for us as fans, because he's a critical part in our defense, play caller, signal caller. It sucks to have him go down like that too on a non-contact. We just knew it as soon as we saw it. It was like, oh man, that's got to be bad. He clutched the knee as soon as he'd hit the ground on that leg, and as soon as he was down, it was sad. But hopefully, I saw Spillane came to the game. He actually played super solid. I have to eat my words, because as soon as he came in, I texted Shane and said, you know what? Why isn't UG3 Ulysses Gilbert in there? And he wasn't active for the game, so he wasn't in there. But Spillane came in, man, did a great job. He laid the boom on a couple plays. I was really impressed with just, I guess, his speed, his tenacity. He kind of played like a Vince Williams, just really reading the offense really well. I saw him sniff out a screen. Just did a great job. I actually was really impressed with how he came in just on the fly and was able to just plug in and do a really nice job. So I was impressed with him. So if he can kind of continue that performance and continue that, I'll be fine with that as a fill-in until Bush can return next year. Even if they decide to activate UG3, bring him in, maybe they'll kind of bring him in on certain different packages, activating him and Spillane. I'm not sure how they'll do it. I guess we'll have to wait and see how things go. But really impressed with Spillane. Defensive line linebackers, man, they were so incredible for this whole game. Man, stuffing the run, getting pressure on Baker the whole entire game was just a complete dominating performance by them. And I know they got, I think it was 2 4th down stops, and they just look literally like, dare I say the steel curtain, because they came out and just stuffed the run. And like I said, it didn't matter what they did. Inside zone, outside zones, Kareem Hunt was just getting stuffed. I think he came out and broke a couple runs, but I would say like 10 yards, maybe not even more than that, but really didn't do too much. I was excited to see the secondary do as well as they did. Steven Nelson, I know Shane's been pretty critical of Steven Nelson, and our whole secondary has really been criticized, I would say, majority of this season, and they really stepped up this game. Other than, Minka's pick, Cam Sutton had a heck of a pick. Goes back to the pressure. They pressured Baker. He kind of, was kind of jumping around back there, really didn't get set, kind of had to scramble out, last-ditch effort threw it, and Cam Sutton made a heck of a play on the ball. I think he got up like freaking 5 feet in the air. Seemed like it, man. He got all the way up there, intercepted that thing. So it was nice to see him get that play. So I was just, overall, the defense, that had to be the best, I would say the best performance this season so far. If they can play 4 quarters like that, man, we're going to be in for a sweet season. If they can just tighten up their communication, tighten up their coverage, really dial up different packages, different looks on the defense, get people guessing. Man, it's going to be a great year. Starting out 5-0, that's incredible for us. I think we're used to a 3-2 kind of start, a 4-1 kind of start. So it's great to be 5-0. Things are really starting to look up for us. Really been just pleased with how everything's gone, honestly. It's nice to be undefeated. We've got a tough test against Titans next week, Ravens after that, and unfortunately because of the Titans switching everything up on us, we'll have the Titans, and then the Ravens will come off their bye and play us. So it's going to be a tough stretch here. I really think that we can run these next 2 games and really, I think if we play like we did today, we can beat anybody. And especially, Derrick Henry. Everybody says Derrick Henry can run over basically everybody, and I would believe it. But after seeing the performance of the defense today, man, I just don't think that Derrick Henry will get that much if the defense plays like they did today. Just incredible performance. Defense is going to get an A+. I don't know how you can do any better than that. I think they ended up with 4 sacks, 2 picks. One was to the house, so you're getting points off turnovers. I think Stephon Tuitt ended up forcing a fumble later in the game, but the Browns ended up recovering it. I mean, just smothered the Browns. They couldn't do anything. It was just an awesome performance. Super pleased. Man, A+ for sure. Special teams, I'm a little bit disappointed. I've got to say, I'm a little bit disappointed in the Dustin Colquitt signing. Coming in, I thought he was going to be a great addition to our team. When he was in Kansas City, I thought he was a really great punter. And Jordan Berry, I was always kind of just critical of because, he was kind of iffy, kind of hit and miss. You never knew if you were going to get a 25-yard punt or a 45 or 50-yard punt. He could either boom it or he'd shank it. And Dustin Colquitt has kind of been almost the same, kind of inconsistent. You don't really know what you're going to get with him. Today, I think early in the game when we started punting it just seemed like short punts. I think it was later in the game he finally got a decent one, but man, I just feel like very underwhelming for his performance, especially this game. But this season so far, I haven't been super impressed with him. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if, lack of leg power. I don't know. But maybe it's just how I'm seeing it, and that's just my opinion. But Boswell looked great. He drilled his field goal, drilled the extra points. Really nothing more to say about that. Special teams, Ray McLeod, I think, only had a couple punt returns. He was in charge of the kickoffs too. So with Deontay Johnson being out, he took the punt returns. But I don't think he really didn't have too many opportunities today. Their punter, the Browns punter, did a good job at really booting it and then pinning him in our own end. So he'd usually have to call a fair catch or let it bounce out. So really not too much to say there. But clean game, no fumbles. So I was happy with that. Really can't ask for more than that. So that was great. Really, I just can't get over this win. This was a great game, and I'm sure all Steelers fans can agree with me there. They'd love to see this kind of performance every single week, and we know we have it in us. I feel like when there's a challenge presented to the Steelers, they always rise up and play. It's almost like they have a chip on their shoulder. It's like, oh, you know what? The Browns have been running over everybody, getting over 100 yards per game. Well, then let's stick it to them. We're going to stop them. I feel like they use that and kind of fuel their fire with that information. So same thing with the Titans. They know the Titans are undefeated. The Titans end up winning their game in overtime, which was a crazy game. But Titans end up winning their game, so they're undefeated. So it's going to be undefeated and undefeated going against each other. Someone's got to get a loss or maybe a tie, I guess it could be. But I really think, Steelers are going to rise to the challenge. I know it's in Tennessee. That's going to be a great game. It's really going to be Derrick Henry against our rush defense, I think. But we'll kind of see how that goes, and we'll go over the preview later this week. But, man, what a win. What a great feeling to be 5-0. Take care of the Browns after they kind of, were talking up this game. Kareem Hunt saying that this one's for Miles and all that garbage. So, awesome win for the Steelers. We're super excited coming off this. It's going to be a good week and a super exciting week to lead up to with the Titans game on next Sunday too. So, it's going to be an awesome game, so really looking forward to that. But I think that's about all I got. I think that's about all I got. So thank you guys for watching the video. Be sure to comment what your thoughts of the game were. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.